Hello everyone, let's wait for some minutes so everyone joins us and then we can start. Hello everyone. Closer to me. Ah, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks, Anna. I hope. Yes, I've just one moment. Yeah, I think I actually shared with you last time, but okay, just a moment. I think this one was the right one. Okay, let's try again. Yes. I think I shared with you on Saturday, but okay, not sure why it is not visible here. Okay, that's a little bit interesting, but no, it seems that the file is not available here for some reasons. I'm pretty sure I shared it on Saturday, but okay. Then I hope that won't be an issue for you. So now you definitely should have this file. Yes, talk again about the delete method we have to implement. Okay, that's maybe I'm not sure how we would go with the first part of the exercise. I just assume that the second may be kind of optional, or just in case yeah, I mean we are finished with the first part, then we can move with the second part. Yeah, I can show it. Basically, the idea is quite simple. You should provide the in a console line. Just maybe that's enough if you provide the ID of the entry to be deleted or the keyword. Yeah. Just maybe in the way. Maybe I will show it during the sessions this week definitely, because we'll start with XML today, just because I think that this topic may be a little bit unclear. Yeah, just maybe to have a full pass. Maybe let me just start from uh, just scroll through the whole path of your project. So first of all, maybe let's create a Java project, and then project demo maybe. Okay, let's finish it and create. And now let's go to, I think I'm sharing the screen this time. Yes, I'm sharing. Shouldn't be the issue as maybe. So from this, let's initialize the Git repository. This is my workspace. And on this one, project demo on this one. So here I use Git bash. I initialize Git repository. So Git repository is created. So now let's create the corresponding repository in the bucket. So again, it's small. Okay, just a moment. I will change the scale then. Okay, just a moment. Okay, I hope it's better now. Yeah, okay, maybe even more, just a little bit. And so that should be much more better. Yeah. So from here, let's create the repository. Maybe I can import the repository. Oh no, maybe let's create a repository. And then project Java lessons and demo. So I think in this project I will show all the things you need to do in your project. Yeah? The project, okay. Should be just one. Okay, then let's just add the remote to our local Git repository. So I have added it, and first I need to commit everything. Oh yeah, just first let's click and yeah, I just edit everything to stage changes, yeah. And now I'm able to commit them. Message initial commit. Yeah, okay. And yeah, now let's paste the changes to the origin master. Okay, seems that the changes are here. Let's refresh. Okay, now it seems that everything is connected. And let's start, yeah, so now we can, now everything is connected from here. Let's also create maybe Jira just to, Jira, yeah, just to repeat all the steps, yeah. So maybe let's create new project. This is classic. Then project. Yes. Let's go. Okay. In my demo project, then as I said, let's start with the let's start with the input, and for this let's create the sprint and we can use just one sprint here. Set this one. Yeah, now we can start sprint. Monday. That's the end of the project day. Okay, that may be considered as the main issue, and just let's keep it as is, don't touch it. You don't need to create this, just to be here. And yes, let's create new tickets. Create a new ticket, and so the first task is we need to create input, right? So just to make a table to be able to proceed with the files, we need to read them first, right? So let's create input. Here I can write some description. Now we can, no, the issue is created. Why it's not here? Okay, original. True. Yeah, now it is here. We can add this as the dependency, just to, so this may be considered as the back task, and we can link this issue, and it is worked by, so what was the DM2M, so that's the number of the ticket. So I can wing this issue, DM2, I can, so this is just again why this task is here. This may be considered as the main task of this project, yeah. Just and I can assign it to myself, and this task to also to be assigned by myself. Okay, and now I'm ready to connect this to the Bitbucket, to the Bitbucket's repository. So yeah, let's create new. Oh yeah, let's add the repository here. And yeah, let's create a new branch. Team, switch to branch, and here we can name our ticket DEM2. Finish. And then yeah, okay, project demo. That's what was changed here. let's push the changes. And let's push. So we have a new branch. Then let's push. And let's see. Okay, no issues. We have new remote branch here. If we check it from here, yeah, we have this branch here. So it appeared here and it is linked to the issue. So now we are ready to create the input. Let's create new class. And here we can have input class. Input class and no, maybe sorry, I missed to create new package. I think that's maybe not what we want to use. Let's just create new main package. We can call it name just to make it clear that this is our main package. And here we can use input. Input and from here we can again use or no, maybe let's just simply use have the main method here. So here's the main method, and from here we can create our input. And the input to be done from console. Yeah. Just maybe let's start with yeah, just split everything into the methods. I recommend to not to write everything in the same method, to use different methods. And we can private void tree, but let's that on the console. Console, and from here we can create our input tune. So yeah, for this purpose, maybe let's first of all let's start with just to show to user what needs to be class. And we can also call next line next line. Just a moment, I forgot the exact name of this method. This new line, and oh, I think I have this line separated. Okay, just to go to the new line and now let's create the input. Let's create new input. Yeah, maybe we can use a buffer reader as we already did it before. So now we need to read the power path. Yeah. So let's use buffer reader. As we already did it before. And let's create new buffer reader. Here we need to provide the input stream. And here we just simply can use system in. And here we can declare power path as string. So just say reader. Here we can read one. Oh yeah, and we of course need to handle the exception. For this purpose, we can use throws here, and yeah, when we call it from here, we will catch the corresponding exception. So that's now we have the file path. Now we have the file path. Let's return it as string. Yeah, this way. So now we can. Now it will be returned from this method. And yes, that's just the first step to read everything. Yeah, just maybe the approach I like to use more is if we just create new method. So that will be as the main method because yeah, that's a good question, Svetlana, because I just want to use this method as the block. So the main block will be located I want to locate it here under the method process. So this will be the main method of our program. So I just want to split everything into the methods. So that's to use this approach to basically split everything. So we can simply just have different method for different tasks. Yeah, like this method will be used to read from console. Then this method will be used as the main method to process all the files. And why we use buffer to read it from the console. So the idea is that we provide the path from the console. Yeah. So when we run the program, we provide it from console. Then based on this path, we will read the file, and then we'll proceed it. Yeah. Yeah, and maybe just to be honest, I don't really want to have main method here. I will explain you why. Yeah, because I just want this class to be used for input only. So no, this is I'm just trying to not repeat, but to replicate the steps. If I if I did this project work, yeah. So I'm just replicating it from my side. It's maybe what I expect from you, or just trying to give you some hints about how would it be if I do it. Yeah. I did it. Yeah. Okay, so let's have the let's have the process method, and maybe for this one I would like to have it public because we'll use different class for it. We'll use different class and I will show it to you. So yeah, that's from process method we can actually process the file. So yeah, just let's grab it string file path. File path, then from here let's read it from console. So this file path equals this get from console. And yeah, that should be the error, and at this point we can add our try catch block, and yeah, let's catch it here. Yes, one more thing I want to have is check if the input maybe let's so yeah, that's the first step. We read the file path. Then second, we need to check if the file path is correct. How not is correct, but again, as I said, we can have only three types of the extensions. We may have XML, CSV, or JSON. So we need to check if the file path is correct from this point of view. So yeah, here we can have a string extension, file extension. So this will point us to the file extension. Okay, so here it, and just to have it exactly at this point, we can point correct. We can create exception. Correct file extension extends exception clause. And yeah, let's just and here it asks us to, let's see a number, just let's set simple one, and let's create the constructor. And so yeah, from here we can write the extension and print out system error. As we remember, that's the string we can use for the errors. And here we can print that extension not be closed, something like that. So now we have the exception, and the next point is we can create the method which checks if this um, if the extension of the file is correct or not. So let's make private. Then we can just do simply white check extension type. Maybe check file extension. Check file extension. And here we can double check. And also we can point that this will throw us, this can throw incorrect file extension. So in this method we'll just simply check if the file extension is CSV, XML or JSON. And so for this purpose, yes, so we have file path. Yeah. And yes, from here let's read the file path. So I declare it locally. The file path by extension. And the file extension, as you know, should be at the end. How we can check it? Maybe let's start with let's use string buffer. Let's use string buffer and start with when we need to use string buffer, we will see it. Oh yeah, yes, it was new string buffer say string buffer and let's just use initializing. So now I want to find the extension of the file. As you know, it should be at the end after the dot. So yes, let's just go through all the characters of the file path because that should be provided here. No, not provided, but written here. Let's maybe let's use simple for loop. Equals this file path length -1, then I -1, so we go on the opposite direction, and let's just so I is greater than 0. Yes, and now let's check our file extension. Use append, and in append we will char and I am index. So yes, that's how it should look, and yes. So if so then we just again imagine we have the file name, so that's just the file name dot extension. So we need to get the extension. So from this point we can just simply go through all the characters until the dot is occurred, and so then reverse our string and the string, and that will result in the file extension. So then we check if let's say this is a character that can be taking break. Oh yeah. So since this is the character, we can. Could you repeat what append means? Append means that we just simply add. So append means if we just have string a equals 3, then append means the same if we just append like append. That would mean just same if we add something like 4 and just g. If we add g to 3, that will be the same if we use string buffer and use append. And that's the same. And we use string buffer because we modify string in the loop. Yeah. And as you remember, that's for the from the performance point of view, string buffer is more performance friendly than just simple string. And so yeah, here we check. One minute. Yeah, and then we add an extension file. And at the end, I just want to reverse everything, and yes, here I can check if the file extension is not correct. So if here we can just use simply if statement. If not file extension equals to JSON, or not file, not end, not just end, this one. We check all the conditions. So, and if not, it is not XML, and it is not CSV. Then throw new exception. Here we can provide the string that was oh yeah, here we just simply provide file extension. And let's simply use to string. So 136 on 136 we, yeah, that's a good question, because as you can see we go from the opposite way. Yeah. From the, like if we have string like name something dot xml for, and then here we go from the right side. Yeah, as you can see we go from the end until the dot is occurred. Yeah. So we start with the last one, with the last index, then we can just simply go through all the indexes, not all the indexes, all the characters. Okay, yeah, we can use the string. Just yeah, maybe let's use string here. String. Just a moment. Since you can see, we do the reverse. Yeah, we reverse the string. So in this case, maybe even more, we can do it this way. We can reverse it here and convert it to string. And use the file extension string here. So here we process the input. Okay. And we just go from the right to the left. And if something is incorrect, we throw a new exception. But we could skip the reverse input. Yes. Yeah, but again, what should we do if if the result is correct? Yeah. If the result is correct, I just want to put it as file extension. So I just want to pass it to our global variable to use it after that. So in this case, I still need it. This one here. We already converted it to string. Okay. So now everything seems correct, and now we can just a moment. So okay, just simply just one moment. I want to set track elements on it. Or okay, maybe let's just use it this way. Let's string error, and from here we just repopulate it. And then let's screen stack error, and from here we error equals this one. Yes, and at the end I will just print it here. So just while I do it, I will show you system area. Or just not storing this huge string, maybe let's simply use it this way. This equals extension, and then we can print it out this way. So that should be better. And of course, yeah, it's just not confuse. Yes, that's so now we can use the same method call here, because I just want to have the same exception type here. Yeah. And the same exception type here, and check file extension. What I don't like, yeah, I hope you follow what's going on here. Yeah, I don't like that in the method check we set something. That's not really what I like. Yeah. For this, maybe let's just let's have the method set file extension. and move some logic here and there. Because I don't like that we set something in the method check, yeah. That's not really good approach. And just to correct it, we can move some logic here. We can move some logic here, and we can call check file extension from here. So we can again put rows here, and yes, it's just this way. And call this method from here. So for now, the design is better. Yes, so the design is better, and let's, because again that's not a good approach if we set something in the method check, yeah. So as it stands, method check only needs to be used for check. Maybe just to make it even more better, let's not set up before it is checked. And so that would be even better, yeah. And okay, now the input is, and the check is done. So now we have the file extension. And yes, the next step is we can read the file. And I think for yes, I will show the code definitely easier. Yeah, it's not used at the moment. Finish will please go through the methods to explain the logic once more. Maybe I can do it now. So here we have just the general method. Yeah, we use it. This will be used in different class. Just to set up everything. Yeah. Right. So this is clear. This is the general method which will just control the main steps in our program. Yeah. So that's the method process. And since this is the general one, we will call it from different class. After that, this is declared as the public one. So is it clear? Yeah. And now we have two actions to be done. First one, we need to read the file path from console. And for this purpose, we created the method, right, to do it. And how to read from the console? This is basically the same code we already used before. Yeah, we used buffer reader to read something from console. So this is, I hope this is clear, yeah. And here we set up the file name, file path. So that's, hope this is clear. Then the next one is that we want to set and check the file extension. And yeah, here we have, so we start with, we declare the string buffer. Why we declare the string buffer? Because we will change the string in the loop. It means that the string will be changed, the value will be changed. And if the value is changed frequently, then we usually use string buffer, not string, because if we use string, this will be, from memory point of view, a little bit too much consuming of memory. Yeah? So this is why we declare string buffer here, and the idea is that we want to get the extension of the file provided. Yeah. So, and maybe one more thing what I want to have is to translate it to lowercase, because as you can see, we check it on lowercase only, and yes, for this purpose we can translate it to lowercase just to not care about the cases, because that's fine if you provide the file path in uppercase, so just not like so in theory the user can provide it like this name.xml, or the same way can provide name.xml, and both variants are correct. Yeah. For this, and just for the check, we don't need to care about the case sensitivity. We just make it non-case sensitive, and we translate it to lowercase, since we check it in lowercase here. And from here we just simply go through all the characters to get the extension. Yeah. So we go from end, yeah, from the last character to until we reach dot. Yeah, if the dot is not reached, then that will automatically result in error. Yeah. Yeah, maybe yes, it should automatically result in error. Maybe one more thing. Okay, maybe let's just keep it as. Let's imagine that the file path is provided correctly and without any significant issues. So the only issues can be that the extension is not correct. Yeah. So we need to check all the extensions, and if it's not JSON and it's not XML and it's not CSV, then we throw a new exception. Yeah. So maybe let's. So here so I hope this part is clear. We just collect all the characters, and here we reverse all the characters, because again we go from end from right to left, but we need to have it from left to right. So we can use simply reverse and convert it to string, because we have string buffer here. Yeah? So just we convert from string buffer to string, and here we have string. And here I just simply check the file extension. I call this method and check if the extension is not correct. Then we throw the exception, and the program goes to the end. It prints the error, and that's the end for us. Yeah. And for our program. Right, then yeah, but otherwise, if the extension is correct, then we set it up and continue with our program. So yes, okay, maybe let's have a break, and after the break we will get the file. After the break. Okay, I think we can continue. So that's about the file extension, and so yeah, now we have the input, and the last point is the file itself. File itself, and okay, I think we can skip doing this. Okay, for this one, I think for this class we are pretty finished. So we have the file path and file extension. So we can, so yeah, the input is done. Maybe let's check it. Let's check it. Maybe let's create some demo. Some demo file. And yeah, just test. We can create another class. So that won't be pushed into the that bucket into our main project. We just simply call it from here. Just check it, create it here, then call it from here, and we'll do it. Now let's declare a new class. And yeah. So this is the different. Now let's just simply process it. Okay, let's see how it goes. And check. Oh, yeah, just yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's my mistake. We don't need new line because it's already on new line. Yeah. Sorry, that was my fault. No enter, so that's correct. If I enter JSON file, that's also correct. No error. If I enter CSV, it's also correct. So I'm just don't check if the file exists or not. I just want to check if extension X cannot be used. Why it shows us the raw string? Because so here we have seen the issue that I provided the raw string here. Okay, let's then correct this issue. So this issue is here, and yeah, you can see that I provided file path, not the extension tab. So let's recheck it. it shows us that this extension cannot be used. So this is correct, and for now it seems that the input is done and the ticket can be closed. Yeah, just sorry, I forgot so I forgot to put it in progress. If something is in progress, that needs to be the ticket needs to be in progress status. Yeah. Okay, and for now the changes are done, and we can delete the file which wants to be. In input class, I changed the parameter I provide to exception, because yeah, I just missed that. I put file path, but no, initially that was file path, but I expected to have extension provided, not provided, but used here, because that is used in the print stack trace. So we need to have this extension to have the right error message here, and that's why I changed it to X extension. So that's about it. And yes, and what else? Oh no, it's not done yet. Let's create getters to use these parameters after that, and these attributes after that. So we can get file plus that will be string. And in the same way, we can create a getter for file extension. All right. And now we can. I think from input perspective, everything is fine. So now we can push the changes. We can push the changes. Let's add after. Done. Commit and push. Oh yeah, that's not the best commit message. Maybe I needed to push to put the name of the ticket as well. But okay, let's keep it as this. So now this ticket is done, and we can, yeah, maybe let's just merge it with the main branch. And now the changes are merged. Now the changes are merged here. Okay, and yeah, at the end we can also commit changes and find that this ticket is done. Okay, commit and push. And push it into the master branch. So okay, now all the changes are up to date. Just let's see about the branch. Yeah, changes here are also up to date. So yeah, and now we can move the ticket to done. I pushed it firstly for this branch, and then for the master branch, because as I said, the merging should be done only by one person. Yeah, maybe that can be the yeah, just in your team that can be the only one person who is responsible for merging, because in general you have different branches and it's not a very good design if everyone just merge the changes into the main branch, into the master branch. Yeah, it is better if there is one person who is responsible to control all the all the branches and then merge them together. So in this case, I just replicated the scenario that one of you who is, like in this case, working on this task, push the changes, then another person, and normally it should be that another person fetches the changes, uh, checks if everything is fine, then and only after that this this person from your team does the merging, and after that pushes all the changes to the master branch. All right, so that's for the input, and and uh, and maybe let's create the main file to. I think that maybe let's keep the ticket for this, because this will be the. Oh, okay, we can use this ticket. We can use this ticket, and maybe let's don't create a new branch, because this should go as the main as the master branch. Just let me think. No, let's create a new branch. Let's create a new branch. Then we will use this. So the ticket won't be closed. That will be as our main ticket for the main development. So I think yeah, it's assigned to me. And let's choose, yeah, let's create this branch. So in this, so I will use this branch as the main branch to basically to run the program. Yeah. So this will be the branch where we can run the program, and main branch. So now I have the main branch, and from here we can open the file. So this will be the class where we can run the program. Yes, yes, Ilse, that's and the question, was it possible to create a branch in Jira and then link it to the workspace? Yes, I think I showed it to you last week. I don't remember which day was it. I think on Wednesday I showed it to you. So basically, yeah, we have two options how to create the branches and link them to Jira ticket. The first option is maybe the first or the second, it doesn't matter. One option is to, again, as I just done it here, yeah, we provide the ticket name to the Oh, okay. Have I check? Okay. Moment. Check. It's not visible for me. Some point, for some reason. Okay, let's configure. Yeah, if something is not visible, you can reconfigure the content. Okay, development is okay. It shows that development is here. Okay, check. So got it. Okay. For some reason the configuration is okay. A moment. Ah, okay. Yeah, here's the branch. Why the ticket? Why the branch is not linked? Ah, yeah, just obviously because I haven't put the changes. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, I haven't put the changes to the mount. Yeah, yeah, just forgot. I forgot to push them. But yeah, that's as I said, that's the first option. Yeah, if we create the branch from uh, from our project, then push it to the repository, then it should be available here under the development. Another option is if we create it from here, maybe yeah, I won't do it and just show some first steps. And here we add the repository. Yeah, sorry, Anda, I'm not sure why your repository is the first one here, but here you'll select the repository. I'm not really sure why it's not. Oh yeah, here is demo projects. And yeah, from here you can provide the type, then the branch, and then create from which branch do you want changes uh, to be used. Yeah, so here you can create. I will do it here. Um, in most cases, it's easier to do it from Eclipse because here you need to. Yeah, maybe there can be um, yeah, there can be some complexities. I maybe won't talk about them now, but I recommend that in my point of view, in my experience, it's easier to create the branches from Eclipse, and then they will automatically be linked to the corresponding branch in Jira. And yeah, so from here, so we'll use this as the branch for our main program. And so we'll have the main method here. And yeah, maybe as a first step is we already have the input, and yes, we can have the input file here. Input, and here we can change the input. And that's the first step is just to get run the input. So we proceed with the input, and now, yeah, maybe let's. So this branch will be changed during the whole project because I want to. Because yeah, we'll do the changes during the whole project. Yeah. So here we just start with the input, but after that we'll have more different steps to be done. So we'll keep this branch. So yeah, that's about running, and the next step is to read the file. And for this purpose, we can again create a new ticket. So we create new ticket, and yeah, that will be task. And file. Yes, that's and yeah, let's assign this to our, let's put it to the sprint. Yes. So we move the ticket to our sprint. And yeah, I can assign it to myself. And I'll put it in progress. And again, I will create a new branch. Maybe at the moment we can push changes from this branch just to keep everything updated. Yes, and plus indicate increment, and now we can push it. And again, just to keep everything updated, let's go to the master branch and merge with our main branch. Okay. Yeah, maybe we don't need really to push the changes now because everything at the moment will be done locally. So yes, let's switch to. Okay, I have not created a new branch. Let's create a new branch for our new tickets. And that's the name of the ticket, and file read the file, and from here we can create a new class which so this class will be called from our main run class, and inside public void. And yes, let's have the constructor. Let's start with the constructor, and here we can provide file file path. So here we will read file, and as you remember, we can use file class. File class. Yeah. Then we can provide some paths here. And yeah, first of all, let's check if the file exists, and if not, then let's find the exception. If not exists, let's extend the exception. Let's see the number. And this one, create the constructor with a string provided, with a file path provided. And again, let's use install the file path here. And let's populate the file path with file path provided to constructor. And yeah, so now we can check if the file does not exist, or this is direct. Okay, we can just simply check if the file exists. So if it does not exist, then let's go on new exception and where the file path provided. And of course, we need to put the rows at the beginning of the method. So yeah, now we can read the file, and yes, the next one is that we can get file content. Yeah. Just let me think of the better design. Maybe let's just use this way we provide the declare another path here, and yes. So if the file exists, then we populate it to the of course let's declare it as private one to not just be able to use it by default outside the class. So that's if we read a file. So now the file is ready. The next step is to we want to get the content from the file. Yes, that's also can be public string. Yeah, maybe let's have a content with string. Get content. To be honest, I don't really like the name of the read file. Think about the best name. The file is not really good because it's already closed. Maybe let's keep read file at the moment. I don't really like this name because the class just needs to. Maybe why I don't really like the name read file, because the file should represent the class name should represent the object this class is referred to. The object is referred to. So in this case, if we have the object which uses the file processing, read file is not quite correct name for the class. Yeah. That's but maybe at this point let's have file reader maybe. File reader and yeah, of course we need to rename the file as well. Oh yeah, the reference is here, so that may be issues. Sorry, my fault. Let's not update the references. So yeah, there's no issue. And get content from here. Let's just get the content of the file. And the content of the file is following. So we define string content. Maybe again let's use string buffer. String buffer content. The content will be changed then. The content will be changed, and let's use the file reader. So we can use the buffer reader and use the reader. And we can declare it as new buffer reader and new file reader. Oh, yeah, again, that's okay. Again, we have the experience with the file reader class. Okay, I hope that won't be the issue for us. In this file, and oh yeah, we'll need to close it at the end. It's Java input file reader. Yes. Oh yeah, and of course I handled exception. Exception found account. But that's what we. Okay, maybe let's do it. Let's do it the following way. Let's do it the following way. I'm going to define reader bubble. So if we define reader bubble, reader, so we do this small declaration here, and And yeah, in this case we won't even need this class, because it's just commented at the moment, because again that's exception can be handled here. So exception found, not found exception. So this exception already exists, and we can simply move changes here. And so maybe even more we want to declare this file globally. So that would be a new better approach. And in the get content, yeah, in get content we can again use string buffer, that's correct in this point, and we can just simply go through all the lines of the code and of the file, and just simply append the next line. So let's string line, and let's start with the first line. Here's one, and yeah, int out exception also needs to be handled, so we will handle it if it is asked. Yeah, and of course we'll return at the end the result. And now let's go through all the lines. And as you remember, if the file is at the end of the file, we will have the last line as null. It means that the file is that's the end of the file. So in this case, we can add the line to the content of the file, and now let's return the content to string type. Okay, so now we have the file, and we have the file content. Okay, maybe I don't really like that this is done in the constructor, so let's use this method. Let's create method set file, and okay. Now we have the methods. We have two methods. The first one is to set the file, and another one is to get content from the file. And yes, this method, I think this class is practically done. And now it can be called from the from a run class, but again, let's create just a demo class to simply test it inside this branch. Again, why it is needed, because to not move the changes to different branches. So at the moment we just do the changes in our in this branch just for file read, and for this purpose I just don't want to switch between the branches and do the changes. As I said, we don't please don't change the same files in different different branches at the same time. Yeah, just if you work with one branch, then please change the files which are different from the files that are changed in different branches by different team members. So at the moment, let's just check if everything is correct. Okay, maybe, yeah, let's quickly create XML file. But yeah, just one small hint. How can you create XML files? There are so many creators online, so you can just simply create a XML file online. XML, JSON file, and CSV file. I think that's even more simple. And also, yeah, maybe let me just show you. Yeah, I think we can we can use this XML already provided as a template. In theory, you can change it by your wishes, and then see here. This may be really useful if you just do some testings. And if you do some testings, you can create XMLs. You can create them here or just use different tools. Yeah, just for your information, there are so many tools for XMLs, JSON files online. You can check them out, and use them. Yeah. But at the moment, we can just simply use this XML content. So we can copy the content and add the content to our demo file. Just I don't really like that this is in this repository. Maybe what's this file in this repository? Maybe I'll just move it here. To not to not fill our project folder with files and yeah, maybe let's copy file paths and from here let's check. You can just copy the code from demo from run method and yeah, input process, and we can create a new file reader. Let's keep it as file. File reader done. So that we have set file, method send file, and the file path can be traced from the input. And of course, we need to handle the exception. Let's do this. No, that's not found exception. And then we'll just next. Okay, now we can set the file and maybe let's just print out file content. So I just want to clarify if the code written by me is correct. Again, we have another section. We can add it here. And yeah, we don't need this because this is the subclass of input-output exception. So don't need it to be called twice. Yeah? Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, let's copy it first. And file is demo XML. Correct. Yes, demo XML. Let's see if it's It's wrong. Oh, okay. Something is wrong. And yes, I already know why it is wrong, because it goes to endless hoop. And we don't see the next line. My bad. Yeah, because here it means that we go into endless hoop, because here I don't switch to the new line. Okay, now let's check it again. Let's copy this class. And yes, here we can see that the file is read. Yes, maybe that's not the output we want to get at the moment, but we can see that the file is read correctly. So in this case, this ticket is done as well. So yeah, we don't need again, we don't need just these demo classes. This do not overflow our branches with these testing stuff. Let's just simply delete them. And here we can see that the ticket is done. It's done. Commit the changes. We can also put changes. So now the changes are done, and we can merge the master branch with the yes, let's merge the master branch. To merge. Yes, from main branch. Yeah, from file read. Okay. So now the changes are merged. We have almost the latest version. Yes. And okay, maybe about the main branch. So I want this to always be in touch. Yes, okay, that's also. That is also, to be honest, I'm not really sure if we need this main branch. Just let me think about the design. No, let's keep this. Let's keep this because in this branch I want just to do. I just want to have the changes on this run file. Yeah. So, but again, I can switch to this and merge with the master branch. Yes, okay. So I just want to have all the changes to be synchronized then. And okay, now all the commits are done. And yeah, let's those bm3 merged. Oh yeah, the commit won't be executed because we just all the changes are done. Yeah. So yeah, just never mind about this. And comment is already done, and now everything in touch. Let's just double check on Bitbucket. Double check it on Bitbucket. Okay. And yeah, it seems that all the changes are in place, and we can move it to done. Okay. And here we can see this option that it understands what is the sorry. Let's wait until it loads. Is loading, and we can see that it can it understands what is the that this is the ticket from Jira, and we can navigate to this ticket from here. That's the cool feature of Bitbucket, because as I said, it has the synchronization with Jira, and it's easy to navigate from Bitbucket to Jira and see the tickets, and here you can see the branch and commit, and that everything is done. So yeah, at the moment we close these two tickets and we can move on. Yeah, maybe after the break. I would like to go with your questions. Yeah, just maybe about what is happening today. I'm just showing the approach you can use for your project work. I mean, how you can create the tickets, and what is the content of the tickets, what are the tasks to be done under the steps to be done under the tickets, and yeah, maybe not so much about the XML reading. We will read of XML files, JSON files. I promised we'll go through these topics again. Yes, we'll go, but yeah, today I just wanted to start with some steps related to the main setup of the project. Okay, let's have the break, and after the break we will go with the questions I received from you on Saturday and on Sunday, but after the break. Okay, let's move with the questions. And I just noticed that I shared the answers with Svetlana only, not with all of you. I just on Saturday, I mean, about the knowledge check, two answers. I accidentally shared it with Svetlana, not with everyone. Um, sorry, my fault. I just didn't realize that I was in the chat with Svetlana, not with all the group. Yeah, sorry. That's why that was not available in main group chat. Okay, so let's move on with the questions. Okay, with yeah, Christine, you had the issues with JSON files. Do you have you solved it or still have the issue? Okay, very good. Okay, so you solved it. That's nice. Okay. Let's move on just one by one then. Okay. Helena had the issues. Okay. Okay, let's see. That, uh, 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 have you selected the right file? Can you maybe just show the screenshot of how it looks like, please? Okay. Okay, Helena, please share the screenshot. At the same time, I can move what. Yeah, sure. Maybe just let me read some other questions. There was a question from Marita. Okay, about JSON file and database. In JSON file, there's name, but database. Okay, let me share this message with everyone, so we can simply. Okay, so Helena, share the screenshot. Okay, now check. Yeah, we'll go back to Marita's question a little bit later, but okay, but yes, so you need to run the unit test. Why do you want to run the file which is not the unit test? I cannot really understand, because basically so how should it normally be that again we have a project, then we have the activity. Under the activity we have the unit test file. So like in this case, this is yes, but yes, okay, you made the project, but why do you want to run the unit test file from your project if you don't have the unit test? Or do you have the unit test file there? Have you created it or you copied it from somewhere? No, but so in this case you won't be able to run the unit test. Yeah, and yes, the unit tests are usually set up in the. You don't need to. You don't need to create it. And to be honest, I cannot really understand what do you want to achieve here. Why do you want another file to be created? Sorry, I cannot really get it. Yes, but okay. So is this for any activity or just your own code? I mean, just which is not related to any activities. Yes. So in this case, you have all the in Teams, but yeah. But why do you? So unit test files are special files which are created for the testing purpose, and maybe we haven't gone through the topic of unit tests, and we don't really need them. So just to test, I mean, and I think the easiest way is to simply create again, as I just did it now, as I've done it here. I created a new class, and from the class I where I have the method main, I ran the program, and I just tested everything I wanted. If you want to create unit test file, you need to yeah, maybe again we haven't gone through the topic of unit tests, so maybe that won't be quite easy. It won't be easy for you to create this unit test file. So in this case, maybe try to use different approach. Like as I just said, you can use main method. You can use different class and just create the logic and test the logic you want to test, yeah, from this different class. So I'm not sure if you really need to. Yes, but what exactly do you want to test? Yeah, can you explain it, please? You can do it in separate. You can do it. Yeah, that's the. As I just said, it's a better approach because in this case you don't mix the testing logic with your actual logic. Yeah. But what exactly do you want to test? Okay, and so yeah, then please, then you need to call this method from different class. I mean, from the main method, you need to call the method where your connection is, when the logic for your connection is created. Then you need to run this this method from your testing method. Yeah. Because if the connection is not successful, then there should be the exception, and you will see it as yeah as it was shown when we were talking about the database connectivity, your database connectivity. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, say that this is the issue. That's not quite issue. I mean, it's not like an issue. Just yeah, you just need to code from the testing career. Again, that's your choice how you design your testing, but I recommend to use separate class to do it, and from the separate class you can test your actual code which you want to test. Yeah, you need to call this code from this class, execute this code from your again from the testing class, and check how it works. Yeah. Okay, then please try to do it, and let's see how it goes after that. Okay, maybe let's go to Marita's question about. Okay, I promised to share it with everyone. So here, here it is. So yeah, I have another question about JSON file and database table. In JSON file template, there is name, but in our database, that's operating system. Okay, as was in document where we had to choose our topic. Okay, should those values, their codes also in theory about JSON be the same? For example, yeah, that's the good question. So basically, what's the main idea of the project you are currently working on? Yeah, maybe that will be the next one. Just about the first one. Yeah, basically the idea of the project is to so basically what our main task is for this project, to build the integration with the database. So we have the files. We have three types of files. We have CSV files, XML files, and JSON files. So our idea is to build the framework. Yeah, so that's our project, to build a framework which does the correct mapping of these files. So we can provide these files to this framework, and this framework actually puts everything into the database. Yeah. So that's the main idea. Of course, as I said, in console, you can. So we will talk about the deletion maybe a little bit later. So at first, the main task for you is to create this framework to add or delete the entries from the database. About the deletion flag, okay, maybe a little bit later. Yeah, let's start with this one. So yeah, and at this point you need to first of all, so the first exercise is to get the values, yeah, from the files. So that's the first one. You get the corresponding values, the corresponding entries. Then you map them into the local files. So you map them into the local files, maybe not local files, but the local variables like the classes, the objects. Yeah, like yeah, for example, if you have books in your XML file or your JSON or CSV, then this is one object. Yes, so one book, one object in Java with the attributes, yeah, like name, author, year published, and so on. Yeah, so you need to put the values into the objects. You need to create the objects and put the values from the files into these objects. This is the second step. So this is the mapping. Yeah, at this point you have the values from the files, the columns if it's CSV file, the objects if that's not the objects but the attributes if this is the JSON file, and yeah, also then the tags, not tags, also yeah, the attributes, the tags of XML file. I hope you got it. Yeah. So these things. To be honest, I forgot the name. Like if these yeah, members of the the tags, the attributes of the XML file. So the idea is that you just map these values into the objects of Java. Then based on these objects, you can update the database. And in this case, the names, like, okay, maybe about the it would be easy if you have the if you do the mapping. So I hope you do understand what the mapping is. Yeah, the mapping of the values from the files. You need to map the values from the files into the corresponding variables inside the attributes inside the objects. Yeah. So here you do the mapping, and after that you have the objects, and from these objects you need to update the database. And here you are asking about the names, so this is also the task to find the corresponding name from the source file, from the source file, one of these, to the database. So in this case you should so the mapping needs to be done by you. I mean, that's the part of the task for this project. So I need to place correct values from the files into the objects, and then from these objects into the database. So about the name, it doesn't really matter because you need to provide these values from the code. Yeah. And about deletion flag means that yeah, you have actually two options. Maybe let's open one of these examples. I think where do I have them? Oh, here. First projects. Then maybe let's take a look on the box. So in CSV files you have two options. Yeah, not only CSV file, but in all the files you have two options. So if the deletion is blank, it means that you need to insert or update the entry. If the deletion flag is set to X, so it means true. If it's set to true, to X, then this entry needs to be deleted from the database. Yeah. So that's the idea of the deletion flags. And the same in JSON file. You have delete as X or as blank. It means that this needs to be if it's not X, then it means that it should not be deleted. If it's X, then it means that this entry needs to be deleted from the data. Yeah, that's. And about your first issue, you wrote to me on Saturday about this error. Have you fixed it or not, Marita? Or is it still in place? Yeah, that's the error I'm talking about. Okay. So, and okay, let's check. Let's check. And when does it happen? Okay, maybe based on your. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I think that the problem is that you have some issues with the setup of the project, because normally you should have the source folder. Yeah, you should have the source folder, and then you should be able to build your project. At the moment, it seems that you have some problems with the build of the project. Um, yeah, to do it, first of all, you have to have this folder inside your project folder, and moment. And after that you need to check the build path. Yeah, so it seems that you just you have some issues with the uh, with pulling the changes from repository, or you just it seems that you had some issues with the pulling, but that's not a huge issue. You need to, so the option is that you set up the Java build path, and this way you can basically check all the projects you have. Everything, try it again, and so you still don't have the source source folder. Okay, then and okay, but how can you show me how the changes not the changes, how the remote repository looks like? Is the source folder there or not? Or is there something inside the source folder? Yeah, no problem. Uh, but yeah, first of all, what you need to do, you need to check if yeah, what I recommend to do is to delete sorry, to delete your project and then create a new project. Then in this new project you need to create your local Git repository, then pull the changes from Bitbucket, yeah, from remote repository, and it should be fine. Yeah. Yeah. So very, because that's not a, or even more, you can, yeah, again, if, as an option, you can create, you can set up your build path. So for this, you need to go to your to the to the folder of the project. Yeah. So this is, so the project should be here under your workspace. Then you'll just select uh, your project and create the source folder if it's not here. Once it is created, you need to set up the, so that's the as an alternative option. And then you can simply check any other project you have. I think you have several, you should have several projects, yeah. So at least you can check one of the projects you have, and and you should set up similar build path. Yeah, should be kind of similar way. Encoded everything with Java, excluded nothing, and so on and so on. No, we should worry. That's not a huge issue. Don't worry. That's not a huge problem. Okay, that's about. Okay, Marita. Yeah, now typing something. Okay. No question. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Please try and I will try to help you. Okay, Victoria's question. Victoria's question is. Okay, let's check them. Okay, Victoria created a database and some questions. Version. I created a database and insert data from Eclipse. Okay. Maybe just let's again share the. Hope it's fine, Victoria, if I share the question with everyone. Yeah? So yeah, just everyone can see. So okay, so the version, yeah, created. Okay, and insert the data from Eclipse. Okay, but the main question is after running second time. Starting, yeah, and get duplicate entry. Yeah, that's up to you. Again, these files are mostly used for testing, and what you do now, it's everything related. It's up to you to test, yeah. To test if you can insert, you can change, or you can delete. So everything what happens at the moment with so what you do with these files, these are just for testing. And okay, hope the example is coming for me. Or not. Moment. Let me run my example. And okay. Yeah, as an option, you can, Victoria, you can delete the entry from the database. Yeah. So that's not the task at the moment. So so at the moment you're working on the solution. So at the moment, just everything what you do is just for testing. You don't we don't need to have like move everything now and just show that everything is moved after that. No, at the moment, just the idea is for you to build a logic which can which allows us to move these changes to the database. Yeah, and I think I don't have the entries here. Okay, yeah, basically what you can do, you can simply delete the entry if you want. Yeah. Just delete the corresponding entry and that should be fine for you. Yeah. If you want to reuse these files again, yeah. So it's quite simple. You can simply delete these entries from the table. And this should be fine after that. Okay, let's go to this. Oh yeah. So you just need to delete. You can delete the entries. And you don't need to delete the whole table. Yeah. Just delete the entries. So yeah, and the second question is create database and insert data on everything from code. Okay, but if Java SQL exception. Yeah, the question is why do you want to create the database from the code? You can do it, but why do you want to create the database from the code? You don't really need it. You don't really need to create the database. The database you can just simply create it from here and reuse it in the code. Yeah, that's not the part of the task. Yeah, that's not the part of the task. You can create a database from MySQL, and from you can use PHP-admin or under resource. It's up to you. So that's not the task, yeah, because normally the database, not really sure if there's anyone who does it in Java. There's a kind of PHP, or there are different ways, but yeah, that's not the part of our task to create database. And I have it all, so I can take. Yes, yeah, so inserting can be done using insert. And about, yeah, database exists, again, that's not the part of the task. Yeah. You can simply create the database manually, then you can check it. Then in the code, just again insert, update or delete. Okay, and yeah, Alex's question. With the problem when I add new line in table in IntelliJ, it doesn't show up in localhost database. Yes, I think that most likely means that, yeah, it's fine if I show question to everyone. Yeah. So it means if it's not showing in localhost, I assume that this means that the commit is not, the changes are not committed. Yeah, I assume that that's the. I assume that that's the possible issue. Yeah, please check if. Yeah, also please check if the if the changes are committed. I assume that Alice is watching from YouTube. Yeah, so maybe there is a short delay between me and between me and Alice. Yeah. Maybe let me. Oh, and Alice seems to be offline as well. Okay, okay. So that's fun. I'm not sure how can I reach Alice in the moment. Okay, maybe I can try to type it in Discord. So that's maybe that's my first assumption of the possible reasons of the issue. Reason of the issue. Yeah. Okay, but else, if you are watching, please give a feedback about it. So that's about what else has. Okay, any other questions missed or not? Please let me know if there are any other questions missed. Yeah, just one small reminder, not reminder, but update. Can you please just one participant from each group please give a short, not now, but maybe on Wednesday, give a short update on how your project work is going. Yeah, on Wednesday, not today. Yeah, it's just really short update on what are the main steps done. Just what is your progress? Yeah, at what stage are you at the moment? Okay, that's about it. Okay, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, maybe sorry that we haven't really gone through the syntax, but the processing of XML and JSON files I promised, but yeah, because I wanted to just really uh, to have some replication of the steps you can actually use in your project work. Yeah, I mean the branches, the tickets, and some different classes. Yeah, the working with them, merging. So I just wanted to, yeah, at the moment, and I think in next sessions I will go through the maybe yeah, I will try to basically do uh, almost the same task, yeah, the same project as you do. So, so I will create with my own database, my own XML. So I will just show you how to do it. Yeah. So that's and I will try to go step by step. Yeah. Okay. It seems there are no questions for today. Okay, then if not, then okay, Marta is typing something. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So thank you for your attention today. And again, if you have any questions, maybe if you just at the moment, as I said, we gone through some maybe not first step, but basic base steps of the project. Maybe if you are already building the classes for XML, JSON, and CSV, if you are just a little bit ahead of what is done here, and you have more questions from not from but about uh, about the queries you're currently working on queries, but logic you're currently working on, then please let me know. If it is a little bit ahead of this, we can discuss it as well. Okay. And thank you for your attention today, and meet you on Monday or on Wednesday, and I will share this code with you, but to be honest, I'm not really sure where to share it. Maybe I can share the repository. I'll share the repository with you, yeah. The remote repository, so you can simply check it. Okay. Okay, then thank you for today. Okay, Zan is typing something. Any questions? No? Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you, and see you on Wednesday. Bye.